for me do bibia say amo bibia kwaba e de aba the Punch TV so message so be share video e de ama me ama foforo nso enye bia share and any day di kan ya hwe video a me show me a subscribe button so na me de bia me ka e woni hia me ye pa wo mi aso na subscribe ya anytime bia be upload video no obenya notification na nso watimi akwa akohwe bi e de ama me no ahuni ekoso e wo oman Ghana mu hanim nsem ye de ensem no ni e circulate wo media ne ho aso ene de ba besom se de dan da me ka no oye hwan na wasem ba ye befa ne yaka na emom yenyi bi mfim ye mfa bi enka ho mesro se afi nsusu like video yi fama me afi na wo comment no adwenkyere no waja comment section honom e de ama me metimi akenkan e de ama media ne de akyere broni
eni bi obi tia na so atia ni na so bi obi ni sawo wani a tunani enti so wote o party flagger tene de obu obe border buni de obu aboni bi. That is boot for boot. And you don't come and tell me Samonto Monka be my me I won't be there to fight for you. Do it. Omuya na najua anadu so ya oyena wiaketa so na wiakete boot for boot no na asase no. Stop.
I mean, listening to interview no. I'm even shocked. I'm even shocked to the bone because me and I'm requesting for data. And I'm about the parameters of the data me pay. Say this election, because even those have registered the register go through a process. Every election cycle, that process ends, and then a new process begins. And you know, processes are up to 2020 no. Those processes have ended. And now about 2024 elections. And I'm saying, Mame, the data on the transfer list. Why you know in 2024? Was it there be J 2021 the account? Me the 2022 so the account, was me the 2020 the account, 2021 the account, 2022 the account, now 2023. Said a bad doors and one who know or say they want to check the migration of the voters. What is the job of the electoral commission to check how voters migrate? And then the Juma idea my electoral commission.
Or Kasa, what is the meaning?
Say they want to see which voters have moved from one place to the other. Is that the job of the electoral commission? To check how voters migrate? How is that your business? And you know, obviously, man, list. Now, on your audit now, what say there be because you want to check how voters migrate? But the 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, we didn't account, we didn't now bombing to jet. Obano be complaining chirewa. What say? Oh, Nyoka say a mistake and any mistake. Na because they made 2021, 2022, 2023 the account enti na eyesa no. Kwabna ma hia no kase bibi ha no. Bibi ha no. Ma hia kase bibi ha no. Because yamao nipa no omo requested data. They are auditing, and the data and I'm say, give me 20 because now saying we have voter transfer,
Yeah.
And I'll say, give me the data of the recent transfer that we did. What say there be the 2021, the 2022, 2023, the account answer. Because say what him say, what the 2020, 2024, the enquire emawa. All the illegal transfers no moye anything no.
Yeah.
Was it me 2021 they afra.
Na mri na ni so.
Oh the brewer ni so.
And also there be me 2021 there no. Me to o dey ma 2024 nko there no so akodane asem. Come na kwasa asem be netin ukrom he.
But so when him say we a cleaner, let's do the private auditing.
Enya no. We say that mean ye.
I dey no so your bottom sika.
Omo background omo say o dey yenye live telecast. No be who say and yes NDC we need to 2015 or 2016 Bawumia by a press conference over how many thousand ghost names or registered so
76,000
about or become be 10 or the 10 pen be present PowerPoint no say the akano or we or the be be seen there. Ebe seen there you who know the aka the remaining 76,000 you who ye. So and this is for someone penny sir. They making noise. They have all the data. They've done their own independent auditing, and they think that their data doesn't reconcile with the one on the register. And yena yeba yebe be mu be hu bia wo se there be me media for me me magana for hu no mu bi. Oso okay wo de wate wo de menye live telecast no je yenye auditing. Yempe se wuntime nya yempe independent auditor. Ni audit register no ye hu se asemasia or register on police station A, ni did that so police station A, ye need didn't go to police station B. What's it mean yet? What necessary? So, entino, come I think say Bonnie and conform episode mudino. Or my bomutimu pot on person with the bonino. But come may come electoral commission for what years. Say election we know. They better do the elections, yes, say so try out diano. No one genentem. They should do these elections once and for all. Munya be bia pepe ni abawe ni antone ba kope.
No be anko the
baby. Because omoje say ebe ye gidi na say na election no na ye di ahomete na koto a. Enne ka dis abawe election e maso. And now omoye election bia so a they will conduct these elections as many times as it will reflect the true representation of our constitution.
But what I see about Kufuor and Mensah in the team way, on say Openibia wabeso Ghana mubia and pese Ghana bebo egunitri so. So last minute no they do the right thing. And at this point, even in 2008, you can trust Kufuor. There are so many things Kufuor had wanted Kufuor to do in 2008, and Kufuor told him point blank, say, Masa, my problem be a mama swame. Beslim Kofi, you lose your Beslim Kofi. And that is the difference between Kufuor and but with this time around, acquire so many best sekurano, we are prepared. I mean, that is what I see.
We are all prepared for that. Kabana say, we are all prepared. Kabana, you see, we won't sacrifice the destiny of this country in the name of love for this country. Kabana, if this country has to go in this country again, we must do it. And you know, Kufuor no join say, oh, one pen and person mine bo. Say, ya mama we aba we mo a, o man be bo de, no man be nyabo. O man be nyabo.
Where should it be so?
It is going to be so. Yeah, no make it's going to be so.
You see, Omana already above. Do we have forest today? Do we have our water bodies? Do we have our farmlands? Do we have them? We don't have it. Nipa yankwa age na de so. Emframa ye home. Aduane ye die. Ene ensu ayenom. What say ni nyina? Now Ghana want to rebuild our country because we have given you 8 years to do it. When to me anye. Now Ghana for 2 million de ma wono. Ebrena so. Ye beje to me near their money pa. Ye nim so betumi aye. What a womp.
Ate for 7 December, mfansem entwamo kakra. Ye guswa ye basum de hu dawro ema MPP amanyoko ne ndisi amanyoko ne 7 December bibia be koso wasundwe mu.
Ne wabo man no niam anto aso never intina me sha say me ka say ya nya forensic audit na abaka there won't be any president. Say chief justice be fit oh never say so any speaker of parliament bet there won't be any speaker parliament. Chief justice there won't be any judiciary. Ye nyina ye betia sim.
Kwabna you see, and if Kufuor do join say oh there's go there say election no crowd masoa this after January 7th. Oh, or that's your president. One more brother. One more brother. Come now, Kufuor's and the MPP government's tenure ends on the midnight 7th January 2025. It does matter whether there has been an election. on the eve and I make on the eve the 7th. Na make no say. It goes out time. There has not been any successfully held elections that has given us a precedent. There's going to be a huge vacuum, and at that time, anything can happen. And the more me say a hono and who say abodam for krum hapa. Come na and kofa bo mo you know kofa. And you see, come na this election say we want this election to be peaceful, fair, and transparent and quiet.
That is the
That's
Ghanaian
what we
approach.
want. That's what we want.
That is the Ghanaian
But
approach.
going into these elections, no. Me personally, I am envisaging so many scenarios. And we are going to prepare for each scenario. And each scenario, we are ready for each of the scenarios that can play out in these elections. One of the scenarios, and they say there will not be any election. That is one of the scenario. The other scenario is, they say there can be an election, but the election has to be reconducted. The other scenario, they say we can go into this January 7th without a president. There's another, and also the people of Ghana, we are prepared for that scenario. See, at every length, we are prepared to face them at every level. We are preparing for each scenario as we go into these elections. Because we are not going to allow them to control to hold this country. And you know, electoral commission yenentem na bibia asumdwemra yekoto aben bibia honto kwabna enye sade a ne epo mo bo mo tirimu ensisaya mo ye scenarios so many military for any calculate the money we are prepared for each of the scenarios that can play out in this election.
Let me go to Eastern Region. Kwajo Dankwa, Eastern Regional Communication Officer, NDC. Kwajo.
Kwabna.
Boko de minia.
Minia na na do no ya na wonso.
Boko. Mo flag bearer akasa, mo national chairman akasa, mo general secretary akosia police for mpanimfo. Quite them. Says 17th, almost say across the country, NDC 42 or more Montreso. Na Mensah ene okunune nebusia fire or majuson besisimo. Na what to say and share to say.
Kwabna min chiao na ntetiefo. And correct. In fact, emra the national chairman Ekoshia is not the Montaigne of the mining hammer. Menkrata, I recommend a commission or making those pronouncements as a winning and some castle. The Western amount for any agreement enough is enough. The Western and Kofa and can near one person will be yaman yourself. Now, when the near start demonstrations, a quen biaso, a quen accept biaso, we pay abba at your more abba dom, yes, at demonstration, media, and that one. Empo, a binomo over here MPP for 9 can go forward yet. O come on, what MPP, o MPP, our come, Sanko follow and let us say, a year president Kufuagua and Koya, a momentum this year. And see, you know, the board of him, as so like, I got to Obama MPP, no, with DNA Ramo, with DNDC Ramo, with MPP Ramo, with DCPP Ramo, with TVghana Ramo. And you see, some of one, I hear that to all MPP for the crime. And no woman now, you say at the Oyo, some of the DNDC, the chief, I will go for the enemy pattern. Now, I have been a baby, yet you move. I did at the EC office at them. I EC said, Sabi, the scope way, it will be a lemon BBC, and I am here dying near Tivita. Who may get this? Andrea, now, Menam, I tell me a amount. Ye were a year amount from who told my boy, friend of them. You know, only one. May Coco did be a crown for another year. Some told me. Na me ma minko di fufu ka kawo minya mi wura ho a me kai kura me NDC ka na manfo edi mirika nipa deɛ ɔmo ba na ɛgye nsɛ ɔmo ba bɛyɛ biribi na nipa ɛba nse da bɛn na yɛkɔ demonstration no yɛhia sɛ mo de kaa kora ba bɛfa yɛn ankasa sɛ ɛbɛba sɛ yɛbɛnante afiri amanforo mu a ne yɛde abakɔ Fodua ne yɛkɔ EC office akɔ twi momome yɛbɛyɛ ebisa na na da kɔ Kufu Addo ne yɛtete bi amanforo mu ha a yɛne ne nyinaa na nyini kurom ha na na do kurom ha na ne mfurum afie no na na do adi yɛ hwammɔ na na do ha ɛyɛ kyɛ bifoɔ ɛno ti ɛnyɛ adeɛ ɛbɛtena ase ne yɛka sɛ NDC foɔ nko a na ɛsɛ yɛ saa demonstration ebi sɛ ɔpanyin bɔne a ɔsi kurom ɔpanyin no sɛdeɛ ɔte bi na wɔn mo nso ɛyɛ ɔhaw ne amanehunu kɔdaa na ɛkɔm ne amanehunu a Ghanafoɔ no amu no ɛnyɛ sɛ wɔn a wɔtete bi ne amanfoɔ mu ne ne mpata mu no sɛ ɛhaw no wɔn nam mu bi wɔn nso nam mu bi papa ɛno nti wɔn abɔ wɔn apɔstoɔ wɔn abɔ wɔn afɔ wɔn meduku wɔn afɔ wɔn koodan a ɛyɛ ɛbenada demonstration no a yɛkɔ akɔyɛ no wɔn de wɔn ho baaba bɛgye mu eti bi nyɛ kwabena demonstration ɛbɛkɔ so benada no deɛ ɛbɛyɛ aduka.
Midofo ema review sɛ ubemia subscribe button so sɛ de dane ya upload video a ubenya bi ahye e de ama me afei nso be share ama afoforo enya bi ahye na wa like wa dwenkyere ne so no na wa hwie aguo no me ba bekenkan ne kama e de ama media ne akyere broni.